Late one night, a wealthy millionaire caught his maid secretly studying after a long day of work. Instead of reacting with anger, what he did next completely shocked her, and it might just restore your faith in humanity. This topic is full of unexpected twists and emotional moments you won't want to miss. Watch till the end to see how one act of kindness can change a life forever. It was well past midnight in the sprawling mansion of Arjun Mehra, a 42-year-old tech mogul whose name was synonymous with wealth and power in Mumbai. The house was silent, save for the faint hum of air conditioners and the occasional creak of polished wooden floors. Arjun, unable to sleep, wandered the halls, his mind restless from a day of high-stakes boardroom battles. He was heading to the kitchen for a glass of water when he noticed a faint glow spilling from the library door, slightly ajar. Curious, he approached and peered inside. There, hunched over a pile of books at the massive oak table, was Priya, his 24-year-old maid. Her worn-out dupatta was draped loosely over her shoulders, and her fingers gripped a pencil as she scribbled furiously in a tattered notebook. Textbooks on economics, mathematics, and English grammar were spread out before her, some with pages dog-eared and others marked with sticky notes. Priya's eyes were heavy with exhaustion, but they burned with a quiet determination. Arjun froze, his hand still on the doorframe, watching her in silence. Priya had been working for the Mehra household for 2 years. She was efficient, quiet, and kept her head down, blending into the background like the furniture. Arjun barely knew her beyond her name, and the fact that she came from a small village in Uttar Pradesh. But now, seeing her like this, studying in secret, defied the exhaustion of her grueling job. Something stirred in him. He pushed the door open wider, and the creak made Priya jump. "Who's there?" she gasped, slamming her book shut and shoving her notebook under the table. Her eyes widened when she saw Arjun standing there, his sharp features illuminated by the soft light of the chandelier. He was still in his tailored shirt and trousers, his sleeves rolled up, looking every bit the imposing billionaire. "What are you doing here at this hour?" Arjun's voice was low, but there was an edge to it, like he was trying to piece together a puzzle. Priya stood up, her hands trembling as she clutched her dupatta. "Sir, I was just cleaning," she stammered, her eyes darting to the books she couldn't hide fast enough. Arjun's gaze flicked to the table, taking in the textbooks and notes. He stepped closer, his polished shoes clicking on the floor. "Cleaning?" "With economics books and a notebook full of equations." His tone was sharp, almost accusatory, but his eyes softened as he noticed the fear in her face. Priya's shoulders slumped. She knew there was no point lying. "I'm sorry, sir," she whispered, her voice barely audible. "I shouldn't be here. I was studying. I'll leave." She started gathering her books, her movements frantic, but Arjun raised a hand, stopping her. "Studying?" he repeated, his brows furrowing. "Why are you studying in my library at 2 a.m.? Priya hesitated, her lips parting as she struggled to find the words. Finally, she met his gaze, her voice shaky but resolute. "Because it's the only time I have, sir. I work all day. I can't study at home. There's no space, no quiet. This library, it's the only place I can focus." Arjun stared at her, his mind racing. He'd never given much thought to Priya's life beyond her duties. She was just a maid, someone who cleaned his house, served his meals, and faded into the background. But now, standing in front of him, she was something else entirely. A young woman with dreams bigger than her circumstances. "Why didn't you tell anyone?" he asked, his voice softer now, though still tinged with curiosity. "You've been working here for 2 years, and you never mentioned this." Priya's eyes flashed with a mix of defiance and shame. "Tell who, sir? The other staff? They'd laugh at me. Or you? You're Arjun Mehra. Why would you care about someone like me?" Her voice cracked, and she looked away, her cheeks flushing. The words hit Arjun harder than he expected. He leaned against the table, crossing his arms. "You think I wouldn't care?" he asked, his tone challenging. "You think I'm that kind of man?" Priya's jaw tightened, and she straightened, her fear giving way to something bolder. "I don't know what kind of man you are, sir. All I know is you live in a world I can't even dream of. People like me, we don't get noticed unless we make a mistake. Arjun's eyes narrowed, but he didn't interrupt. There was something raw and unfiltered in her words, and he wanted to hear more. Priya took a deep breath, her voice growing steadier. I came to Mumbai to study, to become something more than a maid. But life doesn't work that way for people like me. I send most of my salary home to my family. My father's sick, my brothers need school fees. I can't afford college, so I study at night, with borrowed books, hoping one day I'll pass the exams and get a scholarship. That's why I'm here, sir. That's why I'm awake when everyone else is sleeping. Arjun was silent for a long moment, his expression unreadable. Then he pulled out a chair and sat down, gesturing for her to do the same. Sit, he said, his voice firm but not unkind. Priya hesitated, then slowly sank into the chair, her hands clasped tightly in her lap. She didn't know what to expect. Was he going to fire her? Lecture her? She braced herself for the worst. Instead, Arjun leaned forward, his elbows on the table. What are you studying for? He asked, his tone genuinely curious. Priya blinked, caught off guard. I want to be an economist, she said quietly. I'm preparing for the entrance exams for Delhi University. It's a long shot, but I have to try. Delhi University? Arjun raised an eyebrow, impressed. That's not easy. Those exams are brutal. I know, Priya said, her voice tinged with determination. But I've been studying for 3 years. I'm not giving up. Arjun leaned back, studying her. There was something about her, her grit, her defiance, that reminded him of himself when he was younger, clawing his way up from nothing to build his empire. He'd had opportunities, though privileges Priya could only dream of. The contrast gnawed at him. Why do you ask for help? He asked, his voice quieter now. You've been working here, under my roof, and you never said a word. Priya's eyes flashed again, this time with anger. Help? From who? You think I can just walk up to you and say, Sir, I want to go to college, pay for it? You don't know what it's like. Sir, people like me don't ask for help. We work, we survive, and we hope no one notices when we're struggling. Arjun's jaw tightened. Her words stung, not because they were cruel, but because they were true. He'd built his life on the idea that hard work and talent could overcome anything. But Priya's reality was a stark reminder that not everyone got a fair shot. All right, he said, his voice steady but intense. Let's say I want to help you. What do you need? Money? Time off? Tell me. Priya stared at him, her heart pounding. Was this a trick? A test? She didn't trust easily, not after years of being let down by promises that never materialized. Why would you help me? She asked, her voice laced with suspicion. What's in it for you? Arjun's lips twitched, almost forming a smile. You're sharp, he said, leaning forward. I like that, but don't mistake me for some saint. I'm not doing this out of the goodness of my heart. I see potential in you, Priya. I've built my company on people who work hard and think big. You're one of them. So tell me, what do you need? Priya's mind raced. This was her chance, but it felt too good to be true. She straightened, her voice firm. I need time to study. I can't keep working 12-hour days and stay awake all night. I need books, new ones, not borrowed ones that are falling apart. And I need someone to guide me, a tutor maybe, because I'm teaching myself everything and it's not enough. Arjun nodded, his mind already working through the logistics. Done, he said simply. Starting tomorrow, you're off cleaning duties. You'll work half days, and the rest of the time, you study. I'll get you the books you need, and I'll find you a tutor, someone who knows what they're doing. Anything else? Priya's mouth fell open. She'd expected him to offer a small gesture, maybe a few books or a kind word. But this was life-changing. Tears prickled at the corners of her eyes, but she blinked them away, refusing to let him see her cry. Why are you doing this? She asked again, her voice softer now, almost pleading. You don't know me. I'm just your maid. Arjun's expression darkened, and for a moment, he looked almost vulnerable. Because I was you once, he said quietly. Not a maid, but someone with nothing, fighting for a chance. Someone helped me back then, and I swore I'd pay it forward. You're not just a maid, Priya. You're someone who's willing to fight for more. That's worth something to me." Priya didn't know what to say. Her throat tightened, and she looked down at her hands, her fingers twisting in her dupatta. "Thank you," she whispered, the words feeling inadequate. "Don't thank me yet," Arjun said. Standing up, "This is a free ride. I expect results. You're going to work hard, and you're going to ace those exams. If you don't, I'll be disappointed, and I don't like being disappointed." Priya nodded, her resolve hardening. "I won't let you down, sir." Arjun gave her a small nod, then turned to leave. But at the door he paused, glancing back at her. "One more thing," he said. "Stop studying in secret. This is your home too. Use the library whenever you want. No more sneaking around." Priya's breath caught, and she nodded again, unable to find the words. As Arjun disappeared into the hallway, she sank back into the chair, her heart racing. For the first time in years, she felt something she hadn't dared to feel: hope. The next morning, the household buzzed with whispers. The other staff noticed Priya wasn't scrubbing floors or washing dishes. Instead, she was in a library, surrounded by a stack of brand new textbooks that had arrived by courier. A tutor, a stern but kind woman in her 50s, showed up that afternoon, introducing herself as Dr. Sharma, an economics professor. The staff gossiped, some with envy, others with disbelief. "Why her?" they muttered. "What did she do to get the boss's attention?" Priya ignored the whispers, focusing on her studies. But the tension in the house was palpable. One evening, as she was leaving the library, she ran into Meena, the head housekeeper, a woman in her late 40s who'd worked for the Maras for a decade. "So, you're the special one now," Meena said, her voice dripping with sarcasm. "What did you do, Priya? Flirt with the boss? Cry him a sob story?" Priya's cheeks burned, but she held her ground. "I didn't do anything, Meena ji. He saw me studying and offered to help. That's it." Meena scoffed, crossing her arms. "Studying? Please. Girls like you don't study. You scheme. You think you're better than us now, don't you? Getting cozy with Arjun, sir, acting like you're some scholar." Priya's temper flared. "I'm not scheming, and I'm not cozy with anyone. I'm working hard, Meena ji. Maybe you should try it sometime instead of gossiping." Meena's eyes widened, and she stepped closer, her voice low and venomous. "Watch your mouth, girl. You're still a maid, no matter what books you read. You think Arjun sir cares about you? You're just a project to him. Something to make him feel good about himself. When he's bored, he'll toss you aside." Priya's hands clenched into fists, but she forced herself to stay calm. "Maybe," she said evenly, "but I'm not doing this for him. I'm doing it for me. And no one, not you, not anyone, is going to stop me." She brushed past Meena, her heart pounding but her head held high. The encounter left her shaken, but also fueled her determination. She wasn't going to let anyone undermine her, not when she was so close to changing her life. Weeks turned into months, and Priya's life transformed. She studied under Dr. Sharma's guidance, her confidence growing with every lesson. Arjun checked in occasionally, asking about her progress with a mix of curiosity and expectation. Their conversations were brief but charged, filled with an unspoken understanding. He never treated her like a charity case, and she respected him for it. One evening, as Priya was packing up her books, Arjun walked into the library, a rare smile on his face. "I got a call from Dr. Sharma," he said, leaning against the doorframe. "She says you're one of the brightest students she's ever taught. She thinks you'll not only pass the entrance exam, but probably rank in the top 10. Priya's heart skipped a beat. "Really?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "Really?" Arjun said, stepping closer. "You've done good, Priya. I'm proud of you." The words hit her like a wave. No one had ever said they were proud of her before. Not her family, not her teachers. No one. She looked away, blinking back tears. "Thank you, sir," she said, her voice thick with emotion. "I couldn't have done this without you." Arjun shook his head. "Don't give me too much credit. This is your victory, not mine." Priya met his gaze, her eyes shining with gratitude and something else. Something neither of them could name. Maybe, she said softly, but you gave me a chance when no one else would. I won't forget that. For a moment, they stood there, the air between them heavy with unspoken words. Then Arjun cleared his throat, breaking the tension. Keep studying, he said, his tone brisk. You've got a long road ahead. Priya nodded, a small smile tugging at her lips. Yes, sir. As Arjun left, Priya sat back down, her heart full. She didn't know what the future held, but for the first time, she believed she could shape it. And no matter what happened, she'd never forget the night a millionaire caught her studying and changed her life forever.